Let's be real for a second. When you think about caregiving, is it just about checking off a list of tasks? Get this done, do that? Or is it about something bigger? Is it about helping another person live the life that they actually want to live? That difference? Well, that's everything we're going to talk about.
So, today we're diving deep into what's called person-centered care planning. It's a really powerful way of thinking that completely flips the script. We're moving away from just getting tasks done and moving towards truly empowering the person you're supporting.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by defining what we even mean by person-centered care. Then we'll walk through a simple 4-step process to put it into action. We'll also cover a great tool called SMART Goals, talk about why teamwork is so critical, and then wrap it all up with the key things you can take with you.
Okay, first things first. What is person-centered care? Well, at its heart, it's a mindset. It means we're throwing out the one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach. Instead, we're building a partnership that's all about what makes each and every person unique.
Think of it as a huge shift in focus. We're moving away from a world where a provider just says, here's what you need to do. Instead, we're creating a world where the individual is a key player, an active partner in their own care. And listen, this isn't just a nice idea. It's actually becoming the standard and is often required by law.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The individual is in charge, period. This changes your role. You become less of a director and more of a supporter, a coordinator, a partner, helping them get to where they want to go.
So how do we make this happen? Well, thankfully, there's a roadmap. It's a straightforward 4-step process. Elicit, negotiate, support, and monitor. This little framework is going to guide us all the way from the very first chat to celebrating success down the road. So let's unpack that first big one, elicit goals. This is all about discovery, and here's the kicker. It starts before you even say the word goal. First, you prepare. Then, and this is so important, you focus on building a real relationship. Trust is the absolute bedrock of all of this. Only then can you start talking about goals, and finally, you make sure you really understand what they're saying. Let's see this in action, because this is where the rubber meets the road. On the right, you see the old way. It's a command based on a chart. The doctor says blah, blah, blah. But look at the left. That's the person-centered way. It starts with their words, feel like living again, and then it opens a door. It's an invitation to talk more. One's a dead end, the other is the start of a real conversation. Okay, so you've opened that door. You've had a great conversation. But how do you take a big, beautiful idea like feeling like living again and turn it into something you can actually work on? Well, that's where a fantastic tool called SMART Goals comes into play. It's a total game changer. Here's how it works. A goal has to be specific. So instead of stay healthy, maybe it's walk to the mailbox independently. It has to be measurable, like 3 times a week. It needs to be attainable, broken into small, winnable steps. It must be relevant to what they truly care about. And finally, it's time-bound. We'll check in on this in 2 weeks. See? It turns a wish into a plan. So once you have a clear SMART goal, we hit step 2 of our process, negotiating goals. And let's be honest, this is where things can sometimes get tricky. Maybe what the client wants is different from what their family wants. Your role here isn't to be a referee. You're a facilitator, a mediator, making sure their voice is heard, respected, and prioritized. To help you out, here are some really clear do's and don'ts. Do, remember they are the expert on their own life. Don't just push a goal from a medical chart. Do honor their goals, even if others disagree. Don't let anyone else steamroll their wishes. And always, always, do break big goals into smaller steps to build that feeling of success. Okay, the goal is set, everyone's on the same page, now it's go time. We're at step 3, support. This is where the plan becomes action. The whole team gets involved. And our job isn't just to be cheerleaders, it's also to be barrier busters. We have to keep an eye out for anything getting in the way and figure out how to solve it together. And that brings us to our final step. Step 4, monitor. Look, setting the goal is great, but achieving it is the real victory. This means we have to define what success looks like from their point of view, and then check in on progress together. This isn't a one-and-done check-in. It's an ongoing conversation where we celebrate the wins and tweak the plan when we need to.
Now, you've probably noticed a theme running through all of this, right? You can't do any of this in a silo. The whole thing rests on a foundation of solid teamwork and really, really good communication.
And when we say team, we mean the whole team. We're talking about the care manager, family, friends, doctors, nurses, even the transportation providers. But who's the team captain, the MVP? It's always the individual, right there in the center of it all.
So what keeps this whole team running smoothly? Communication. It's the glue that holds everything together. It's how you build trust, how you coordinate all the moving parts, and how you make sure everyone is pulling in the same direction towards the same goals.
Whew, okay, that was a lot of info. So let's just boil it all down. If you're heading out for a shift and can only remember a few things from our chat today, make it these.
First, the individual is in the driver's seat. You're the trusted co-pilot, there to support and navigate, not to grab the wheel. Second, big dreams need a roadmap. Use SMART goals to turn those wishes into an actual plan. And third, communication is your superpower. Talk to everyone and talk often. It's absolutely essential.
All right, you ready for a super quick pop quiz? No pressure, it's just to help make sure all these ideas really stick.
First question, that A in SMART goals, what does it stand for? Is it action-oriented, ambitious, attainable, or approved? The answer is C, attainable. Remember, we want to set people up for those small wins.
Next up, true or false. The care manager is the one who ultimately decides the client's final goals. I hope you're all shouting false at your screens right now, because that is definitely false. The individual is always in charge.
Okay, last one. Fill in the blank. The foundation of any successful goal discussion is building what? Yep, you got it. The answer is trust. Without trust, none of this works.
So I'll leave you with this one last question to take with you. This one's not for me to answer, it's for you. Based on everything we've talked about, how will you, on your very next shift, empower your next client to take the driver's seat? Really thinking about that. That's the first step to making all the difference in the world.